Today we're doing a deep dive into the Datavideo CAP-2. Our goal is to really cut through the noise on the spec sheet for this HDMI to USB 3.0 capture box. We want to figure out what it actually means for your workflow.
Exactly. At its core, this device is your high-speed bridge. Think of it as a way to get high-def video sources up to 1080p 60 into a digital format you can actually use for streaming or recording.
And right away, there are a few things that make this stand out from, your average and entry-level capture card. It's got that USB 3.0 interface, it's plug and play, and this is a big one, it's TAA compliant.
Right, which means it meets those very strict U.S. federal standards. It's a real signal that you're getting something professional grade, reliable.
Okay, so let's talk about that reliability. How does it connect? It looks pretty simple. One HDMI input, and that feeds a USB 3.0 micro B output.
Super simple, and the compatibility is, well, it's massive. It works with Windows, OS X, 10-ton pen and up, and even Linux Ubuntu. Just a quick note that if you're on Windows 7, you will need to install a driver.
Got it. But what really caught my eye was the audio control. Most boxes just grab whatever is embedded in the HDMI, right?
And that's where this thing gets fascinating. The CAP-2 has a stereo line-in, an external audio feature, so you can completely bypass the HDMI audio if you want. You can bring in a clean feed from a mic or a mixer instead.
And that is a game changer. The specs on that are solid too. We're talking 2-channel, 44.1 or 48 kHz sample rates, and up to 24-bit PCM.
Which for you, the listener, just means true studio-quality audio. You're getting a much, much cleaner signal than HDMI audio usually provides.
Okay, so a clean audio signal needs a clean data transfer. Let's get into the capture formats. How does the box handle that?
Well, it depends on your connection.
Right. So if you connect with USB 3.0, you get YUY2. And this is so important because it's way less compressed. You get more color data to work with in post-production.
It's basically uncompressed color, yeah. But if you fall back to USB 2.0, or if you select it, it will default to MJPG, which is just a bit heavier, a bit more compressed.
And what about performance?
Very efficient. The input video bandwidth is 150 megahertz. It's robust enough to keep a clean signal while pushing, up to 350 megabits per second out through that USB port. And it does all that using only 2 watts.
Only 2 watts. And it's tiny, just 0.15 pounds. Okay, but let's talk about the friction point here. The price is $299, but capturing clean 1080p, well, it still needs some serious power on the computer side, right?
That's a really important question. The PC requirements are quite specific. They recommend an Intel Core i5-4440 or higher with at least an NVIDIA GTX 660.
And for laptops, because that's where these get used a lot, for live events.
For laptops, the recommendation jumps. You're looking at an Intel Core i7-4810MQ and a GTX 870M graphics card, plus at least 4 gigs of RAM.
An i7 laptop, that seems a bit steep for 1080p capture.
Well, it really shows how intensive professional video work still is. These are definitely minimums to make sure everything runs smoothly for live streaming or high-stakes video calls.
So that $299 price tag, it's really an investment in reliability.
I think so. The core value is clear. It's a focused, professional 1080p tool. You're paying for that reliability and especially that external audio flexibility.
Absolutely. The source material also mentions the CIP1, which has an SDI input, and the CIP4, which does 4K. So this leaves a final thought for you to chew on. In a market that is just obsessed with 4K, is a super reliable 1080p box with pro-level 24-bit audio inputs the smart move? Or is it already a step behind? Think about that trade-off between higher resolution and a richer feature set when you plan your next setup.